I wasn't a war hero, Bill. I was just a guy that was there. I was an infantry rifleman and went through, was actually there on the beachhead for 3 weeks and got shot down, and then they hauled me out of there.
Have you ever wondered what transformed James Arness, a young man from Minnesota who was gravely wounded during World War II, into an irreplaceable icon of classic Western films? On screen, Arness didn't need grand gestures or flamboyance to capture the audience. He brought a quiet strength, embedded in every glance, every simple yet meaningful action. With a rugged and unwavering demeanor, James Arness didn't have to do much to convey courage, pain, or unshakable resolve. It all emanated naturally from the authenticity he brought to each of his roles. But behind that calm exterior lies a story far from easy. From the brutal battlefields of war to the harsh challenges of his career and personal life, Arness went through struggles that few knew about. Let's take a deeper look into the real journey of James Arness, where his strength and perseverance weren't only displayed on screen, but embodied in every step of his life. Early life. James Arness was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota on May 26, 1923, to a family of Norwegian and German descent. Although he grew up in a middle-class household, Arness's life was far from easy. His father, Rolf Arness, was a businessman, while his mother, Ruth Dusler, worked as a journalist. In their home, strict discipline was always accompanied by love and care, forming a solid foundation for both James and his younger brother, Peter Graves, who would later become a famous actor as well. However, this didn't mean that James Arness's childhood was without its challenges. Arness was not a strong student. He struggled academically and often missed classes. For James, sitting still in a classroom was a challenge in itself, as he found the freedom of the outside world far more captivating. Instead of focusing on books, he spent much of his time doing various labor jobs to support his family. From loading and unloading freight at train stations to chopping wood and working as a lumberjack in the forests of Idaho, these physically demanding jobs not only helped him build a strong physique, but also instilled in him perseverance and discipline. Despite juggling different jobs, James remained determined to finish high school and eventually enrolled at Beloit College in Wisconsin. However, his academic pursuits were cut short by the most significant turning point of his life, the outbreak of World War II. In March 1943, Arness enlisted in the Army and underwent training at Fort Snelling in Minnesota. Standing at an imposing height of 6 feet 7 inches, he was quickly assigned to infantry duty and was the first soldier to step onto the beach during the Anzio landing in Italy on January 22, 1944. During the Battle of Anzio, Arness suffered severe leg wounds. The injury not only forced him to confront physical pain, but also led him into one of the toughest periods of his life. After being evacuated back to the United States, Arness underwent numerous surgeries and spent an extended period recovering at a hospital in Clinton, Iowa. Although he eventually recovered and was honorably discharged in 1945, the lingering pain from his wounds would follow him for the rest of his life, particularly during scenes where he had to ride horses in Gunsmoke. It was during his recovery that James's younger brother, Peter Graves, encouraged him to try his hand at the entertainment industry, especially radio broadcasting. It was advice that would prove invaluable as James began his career as a radio announcer at a small station in Minneapolis in 1945. Though the job was simple at first, his deep, resonant voice and striking appearance quickly caught attention. This was the pivotal moment that would open the door to Hollywood and the acting career that lay ahead for him. Career. After returning from World War II, James Arness began his acting career in a rather humble manner. Despite the lingering pain from his battlefield injuries, particularly the chronic pain in his leg, Arness was determined to pursue a new career in entertainment, both as an escape and as an opportunity to build a different future. He initially worked as a radio announcer at a small station in Minneapolis. This job not only helped him develop his communication skills, but also laid the groundwork for future advancements in the film industry. In his early days in Hollywood, Arness appeared in many minor roles. However, no one could deny that his towering 6 feet 7 inches frame immediately captured attention. While he didn't become a star overnight, he played supporting roles in action and science fiction films, where his imposing physical presence made a strong impression. One of his notable early roles was in The Thing from Another World, 1951, a classic sci-fi film where he portrayed a terrifying giant alien creature. Although his role had few lines, his performance showcased his ability to act through physicality and body language, leaving a lasting image of strength and power. Following the modest success of The Thing from Another World, James Arness starred in Them, 1954, another science fiction horror film, this time about giant mutant ants. This film not only reaffirmed Arness's versatility in physically demanding roles, but also helped solidify his position within action and sci-fi genres. While he had not yet achieved leading man status, his presence in these films signaled that he was an actor gradually finding his place in the industry. However, the true turning point in James Arness's career came when he met John Wayne, the legendary star of westerns at the time. Wayne recognized Arness's immense potential and decided to help by introducing him to the role that would define his life, Marshal Matt Dillon in the television series Gunsmoke. Wayne even appeared in the first episode's introduction, personally presenting Arness to the audience as a testament to his talent and their friendship. Gunsmoke initially started as a radio show in 1952, revolving around life and conflicts in Dodge City, Kansas during the 19th century. The show quickly attracted a large fan base, thanks to its compelling stories and the central character of Marshal Matt Dillon, a symbol of justice. By 1955, Gunsmoke was adapted into a television series, and James Arness was cast as Matt Dillon, rapidly becoming a sensation on the small screen. Under Arness's portrayal, Matt Dillon was more than just a strong enforcer of the law. He was a character filled with compassion and principles. Arness brought a quiet depth to the role, making Dillon far more than a typical Western hero. Through each episode, Dillon faced difficult situations, from confronting dangerous criminals to navigating complex moral dilemmas in a town where the law was often ambiguous. Arness infused the character with a perfect balance of strength and kindness, a man who was ready to uphold justice, but also willing to listen and empathize with those around him. Gunsmoke quickly became one of the most successful series in American television history, running for 20 years with a total of 635 episodes. The show not only achieved commercial success, but also left a significant cultural legacy, becoming an unforgettable part of American television memory from the 1950s to the 1970s. Arness's dedication to the role was remarkable. He rarely missed an episode during the entire 20-year run, despite health issues stemming from his war injuries. In fact, to maintain his performance, the shooting schedule was often adjusted so that his scenes could be filmed in a single day, giving him time to recover between the physically demanding action sequences. Additionally, the evolution of Gunsmoke over time was a crucial element in the show's success. Initially broadcast in black and white with half-hour episodes, Gunsmoke transitioned to color and expanded to hour-long episodes starting in 1961. This change not only introduced new technical innovations to the show, but also helped it grow and maintain its appeal over 2 decades. Another interesting tidbit in the show's development was the revelation, after 16 seasons, of the full name of one of its key characters, Doc Adams, who was finally disclosed as Galen Adams. This small detail helped deepen the connection between the audience and the characters, showing how the show evolved and grew richer over time. The success of Gunsmoke was not just due to its compelling storylines and strong characters, but also thanks to James Arness's unwavering commitment. He stuck with the role for 20 years and even reprised it in several Gunsmoke television movies after the series ended, with 5 TV specials produced between 1987 and 1994. This demonstrated Arness's enduring love for the character and the fans who had followed him throughout the years. Conflict with Milburn Stone. Although Gunsmoke was a tremendous success in James Arness's career, not everything on set went smoothly. One of the most complex relationships he had was with Milburn Stone, who portrayed Doc Adams, one of the key characters on the show. Initially, the relationship between Arness and Stone was far from ideal, and Milburn Stone did not hesitate to speak openly about it. During the first 3 years of working together, Stone bluntly admitted that he hated James Arness. He felt that Arness was unprofessional, often arriving late to set and never apologizing for the delays he caused. Stone, known for his serious demeanor and high standards for discipline on set, believed that Arness's attitude was not suitable for a professional work environment. This tension continued to build to the point where Stone felt compelled to confront Arness directly, not shying away from voicing his dissatisfaction. The confrontation between the two was intense, with Stone firmly standing his ground and demanding that Arness change his behavior. Stone made it clear that he had no obligation to tolerate Arness's lack of discipline, and declared that he would no longer put up with it if things didn't improve. Surprisingly, James Arness didn't react negatively. Instead, he acknowledged his mistakes. He agreed with Stone that he had been unprofessional and admitted that Stone's criticisms were justified. This moment of humility from Arness changed the dynamic between the two completely. What had once been a tense relationship began to shift into one of mutual respect, and after that confrontation, the two developed a genuine friendship that lasted for many years while they worked together on the set of Gunsmoke. Arness's ability to admit his faults and handle the conflict in a professional manner not only improved his relationship with Milburn Stone, but also demonstrated his willingness to listen and make changes for the greater good of the cast and crew. Over time, the bond between Arness and Stone strengthened, and together, they contributed to the enduring success of Gunsmoke. The show became not just a television series, but an important part of American television history, a legacy built in part by their teamwork. Although the initial conflicts were far from small, the way the two actors faced them head-on, with honesty and sincerity, helped them build a relationship grounded in mutual respect and collaboration. This bond ultimately contributed to the success of the show and maintained the spirit of camaraderie throughout Gunsmoke's remarkable 20-year run. The end of Gunsmoke. The ending of Gunsmoke stands as one of the most unfortunate events in American television history. After 20 years on air, Gunsmoke had become an indispensable part of its audience's lives, with 635 episodes, and it was the most successful Western series in history. However, in 1975, CBS abruptly announced the cancellation of the show without any preparation for a proper final episode, leaving both the cast and fans in shock and disappointment. What made the cancellation even more shocking was how sudden it was. Not only were the actors, but also the entire production team completely unaware of CBS's decision. The cast, including James Arness and other stars, believed that the show would continue for at least one more season. Instead, they learned of the show's end through the press and media. This left many of the actors, especially James Arness, feeling deeply disappointed, as they never got the chance to say a proper goodbye to the audience or to conclude Gunsmoke's story in a meaningful way. The final episode aired on March 31, 1975, but it was not a farewell episode, nor did it provide closure for the story of Marshal Matt Dillon. Titled The Sharecroppers, the episode was a regular installment, with no indication that it would be the last time viewers would see Matt Dillon on the small screen. This only added to the sorrow of fans who had followed the show faithfully for 2 decades. With no special episode to bid farewell to the audience, Gunsmoke ended like any other episode, leaving a large void in the hearts of both the fans and the cast. James Arness and the rest of the production team had been gearing up for another season, and some scenes for season 21 had even been planned. However, CBS's abrupt decision deprived them of the opportunity to bring those plans to fruition. The sudden cancellation not only left fans feeling a profound sense of loss, but also deeply affected the cast members who had devoted 20 years to Gunsmoke. James Arness, who had become the iconic face of the show and the Western genre itself, felt as though he and his colleagues were robbed of the chance to close such a significant chapter of their careers in a fitting way. Personal life. James Arness's personal life was not without its share of painful tragedies, especially when it came to his family and children. Arness was married twice in his life, and although he possessed a strong and resilient exterior, his personal life was profoundly affected by heartbreaking losses. His first marriage was to actress Virginia Chapman in 1948. When he married Virginia, Arness adopted her son, Craig, and the couple later had 2 children of their own, a son named Rolf and a daughter named Jenny Lee. Initially, the marriage was a happy one, and they lived together in Los Angeles, where Arness began to build his acting career. Craig Arness, James's adopted son, was born in 1946. Craig pursued his own career and became a talented photographer, known for founding Westlight, one of the most renowned photo archives, while also working with National Geographic as a photographer. He built a successful and respected career in his field, but tragically, Craig passed away in 2004 due to cancer, a great loss for James Arness and his family. Rolf Arness, James and Virginia's biological son, was born on February 18, 1952. Instead of following in his father's footsteps into acting, Rolf chose his own path and became a renowned surfer. He won the World Surfing Championship in 1970, earning his place among the top surfers in the world. While Rolf didn't enter the film industry, James was always proud of his son and his impressive accomplishments in the sport. Jenny Lee Arness, the only daughter of James and Virginia, was born on May 23, 1950. Jenny Lee briefly tried her hand at acting, appearing in a few small roles but did not pursue the career long-term. Sadly, her life was marked by emotional and psychological struggles. In 1975, at the age of 24, Jenny Lee took her own life. The death of his daughter was a devastating shock for James Arness and a deep sorrow that he would carry for the rest of his life. This loss left a profound emotional wound in Arness, causing him to become more withdrawn about his personal life. In addition to the death of his daughter, Arness also had to confront the passing of his ex-wife, Virginia Chapman. After their divorce in 1963, Virginia lived with their children until she died in 1977 from a drug overdose. Virginia's death, coming just a few years after Jenny Lee's, dealt another emotional blow to James Arness, forcing him to face the unhealable losses within his family. His first marriage to Virginia ended in divorce after 15 years, and although he tried to maintain a positive relationship with his family, the personal tragedies presented significant emotional challenges for him. However, Arness didn't remain in pain forever, and he found solace in his second marriage. In 1978, James Arness married Janet Surtees. This was a long and happy marriage that lasted until his death. Janet stood by James's side during his later years, supporting him through the most difficult times. This marriage brought him the peace and stability he so desperately needed after the family tragedies. Janet was not just a loyal partner, but also a companion who helped Arness overcome his grief and rediscover joy in the final years of his life. James Arness lived a life full of ups and downs. Though he achieved great success in his career, his personal life was marked by loss and tragedy. He endured the deaths of 2 of his children and his first wife, a burden of pain that not everyone could bear. Yet, Arness remained strong and steadfast, much like the character of Matt Dillon he portrayed on Gunsmoke. Arness was not only a hero on screen, but also a hero in life, facing challenges with courage and resilience. Career after Gunsmoke. After Gunsmoke ended in 1975, James Arness continued acting for nearly 2 more decades, remaining closely tied to the Western genre, where he had made his name. While he never found another role that surpassed the shadow cast by Marshal Matt Dillon, Arness still took part in several notable projects, maintaining a long and impressive career until his passing. One of Arness's greatest successes after Gunsmoke was his portrayal of Zeb McMahan in the television series How the West Was Won, 1976 to 1979. Based on the movie of the same name, this series quickly gained the affection of audiences. Arness played a tough man determined to protect his family from the many dangers they faced while migrating to the American West in the 19th century. Zeb McMahan was a different character from Matt Dillon, but retained the same strong, courageous, and compassionate qualities that Arness had successfully embodied in Gunsmoke. How the West Was Won was not only successful in the US, but also became particularly popular in Europe, where the series was repeatedly broadcast. This success further solidified Arness's standing with international fans, making him one of the most iconic actors of the Western genre. In addition, James Arness reprised his role as Matt Dillon in a series of television specials from 1987 to 1994. These sequels to Gunsmoke gave fans the opportunity to reunite with the legendary character. The films included Gunsmoke, Return to Dodge, 1987, Gunsmoke, The Last Apache, 1990, Gunsmoke, To the Last Man, 1992, Gunsmoke, The Long Ride, 1993, and Gunsmoke, One Man's Justice, 1994. These films continued the journey of Marshal Matt Dillon, taking him through new tense and dramatic situations. Although they didn't reach the level of success of the original series, these sequels were warmly received by loyal fans and reaffirmed the legacy that Gunsmoke had left in television history. Aside from the Gunsmoke films, Arness also appeared in other television series, such as McLean's Law, 1981 to 1982, where he played a retired police officer returning to duty. However, this series only lasted 1 season and didn't achieve the same level of success as his previous Western projects. In his later years, Arness continued to be respected by fans and admired by his colleagues in the industry. Despite facing health issues, including chronic pain from his war injuries, he remained dedicated to acting until he eventually retired from the screen. James Arness passed away on June 3, 2011, at his home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, at the age of 88. With a career spanning over 50 years, he left an indelible mark on the hearts of fans, particularly for his portrayal of Marshal Matt Dillon in Gunsmoke. While his later Western films didn't achieve the same widespread acclaim, they were a testament to Arness's enduring love for and commitment to the genre. His post-Gunsmoke career remains an important chapter, further cementing his position as one of the greatest actors in the history of American television westerns. James Arness's impact on Gunsmoke is undeniable, not only through his portrayal of Marshal Matt Dillon, but also through his significant contributions to the entire show. From the very beginning, Arness displayed unwavering dedication to his role, and this not only created an iconic character, but also shaped the program's content, bringing a deeper, more authentic approach to the storytelling. As the heart and soul of Gunsmoke, James Arness was more than just an actor. He was a guardian of the show's spirit and values. His commitment over the 20-year run helped Gunsmoke maintain its high quality and continued audience affection. In the role of Matt Dillon, Arness brought to life a character who was not only courageous and just, but also deeply human, reflecting the inner struggles and compassion of a lawman in a challenging world. Moreover, James Arness played a vital role in fostering the working spirit of the entire cast and crew. He was known for his humility, professionalism, and refusal to seek the spotlight. It was this dedication and modesty that created a positive working environment where everyone felt at ease and enthusiastic during production. Thanks to Arness's leadership and work ethic, Gunsmoke not only became a successful television show, but also set a standard in the entertainment industry for how a TV program could endure and thrive over 2 decades. James Arness's legacy with Gunsmoke and the Western genre extends far beyond his acting career. The image of Matt Dillon that he portrayed became a symbol of the cowboy genre, and his influence reached far and wide, touching many generations of actors and viewers. Arness didn't just define a character, he helped shape an entire genre where values such as loyalty, justice, and perseverance were celebrated. Through his immense influence, James Arness left an indelible mark, not just on Gunsmoke, but on the entire history of American television. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more exciting content. Leave a comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next video. Goodbye.